This is IMT News.
देखती आंखों सुनते कानों आपको रशंदा जाहिद का सलाम। आप देख रहे हैं IMT न्यूज फ्रॉम लंदन। मुख्तार पानीवाला एक मेहनती, हमदर्द और खिदमत खल्क के जज्बे से सरशार शख्सियत हैं। अपनी जिंदगी के तजर्बात और जद्दोजहद के जरिए उन्होंने ये साबित किया कि अगर नीयत नेक हो तो हर मुश्किल आसान हो जाती है। वो बरसों से माजूर अफराद की खिदमत में मसरूफ अमल हैं और इनके मसाइल को समझकर इनके हुकूक के लिए जद्दोजहद कर रहे हैं। उन्होंने मुख्तलिफ फलाही इदारों और समाजी तंजीमों के साथ मिलकर दर्जनों ऐसे मंसूबे मुकम्मल किए जो माजूर अफराद की जिंदगी में आसानी लाएं। इनकी रहनुमाई में दर्जनों लोगों को व्हील चेयर, आले समात, छड़ी, माली मदद और मुख्तलिफ तरबियती मौके फराहम किए गए हैं। मुख्तार पानीवाला की जिंदगी एक मिसाल है कि किसी भी कम्युनिटी की खिदमत दिल से की जाए तो तब्दीली जरूर आती है। उन्हें न सिर्फ यूनिवर्सल मेमन ऑर्गेनाइजेशन बल्कि पूरी मेमन कम्युनिटी फख्र से देखती है। मुख्तार पानीवाला की मुतासिर कुन सवाने उम्री कई अकसाद पर मुश्तमिल है। देखते रहिए और हमारे साथ जुड़े रहिए।
आइए देखते हैं पार्ट 2।
Hey everyone, and welcome to today's episode. My name is Mukhtar Paniwala, and I'm the president of the Disabled Wing at Universal Memon Organization. I'm really glad you're here with me because today we're talking about something that can happen to anyone at any time: unexpected blindness. Sometimes a person loses their sight suddenly, maybe because of an accident, an injury, or some other reason that no one saw coming. It's a life-changing moment. And it can feel overwhelming, but I want to share how families can play a huge role in helping someone move forward, find hope, and build a new life. Let's start by imagining what it's like when someone suddenly loses their vision. The shock is real. You wake up one day and the world you've always known is completely different. Simple things, walking around your house, reading a message, even recognizing loved ones, suddenly feel impossible. Most people, when this happens, experience a wave of fear and sadness. Depression is common, and it's easy to feel like life as you knew it is over. But here's what I want to say right away. It's not the end. It's the start of a new chapter, and with the right support, it can be a chapter full of growth, learning, and even joy. The first and most important support comes from family. When someone loses their sight, their family becomes their anchor. But it's not just about helping with daily tasks. The real challenge is emotional. The newly blind person might feel hopeless, lost, or like a burden. Family members need to step up, not just with sympathy, but with real encouragement. It's about helping that person out of depression, convincing them that life is not over, and showing them that they are still valued, still loved, and still capable of so much. One of the best things a family can do is to help the newly blind person connect with others who have gone through the same thing. I always suggest visiting a local blind training institute. Let your loved ones see firsthand what blind people are doing, how they learn, how they work, how they play sports, use technology, and live independently. It's amazing how much hope and motivation can come from seeing others who have adapted and are thriving. Suddenly, blindness doesn't seem like an end, but a new way of living. Rehabilitation training is the next big step. This is where the journey to independence really begins. In these programs, people learn practical skills: how to use a white cane, how to read Braille, how to cook safely, how to use technology like screen readers, and even how to travel alone. The goal is to replace fear with confidence and to show that with the right training, a blind person can handle daily life just as well as anyone else. But here's something that's really important. The family's attitude makes all the difference. If the family sees the blind person as a burden, or just hands them off to a school and forgets about them, it's so much harder for that person to succeed. But if the family is supportive, involved, and believes in the person's abilities, it unlocks so much potential. I've seen people discover talents they never knew they had: music, art, teaching, technology, just because someone believed in them and encouraged them to try. Let me share a story I've seen many times. A person loses their sight suddenly, maybe from an accident, maybe from illness. At first, the whole family is in shock. There are tears, arguments, and moments of despair. But then something shifts. The family starts to learn about blindness. They visit a blind school, talk to teachers, meet other blind people. They see kids playing cricket, adults working on computers, people reading books in Braille. And slowly, hope returns. The newly blind person starts rehabilitation training. They learn to walk with a cane, to cook, to use a smartphone with voice commands. The family cheers them on, celebrates every small victory, and soon the person is not just surviving, they're living. Of course, it's not always easy. There are setbacks. Sometimes the person gets frustrated or the family gets tired. But the key is to keep going, to keep supporting each other, and to remember that this is a journey, not a race. Every bit of progress counts. One thing I really want to say is this. Please don't pity blind people. We don't need pity. We need support, respect, and opportunity. When you see a blind person, don't assume they're helpless. Instead, ask if they need help, and if they say no, respect that. Encourage them, include them, and treat them like anyone else. That's how real confidence and independence grow. Another thing that helps is connecting with the broader community. There are so many organizations, support groups, and online forums where blind people and their families can share tips, ask questions, and find encouragement. Whether it's learning about the latest assistive technology or just sharing a story about a tough day, these connections make a huge difference. Now, let's talk a bit about the practical side. Rehabilitation training isn't just about learning to get around. It's about building a whole new toolkit for life. Occupational therapists can teach skills like cooking, cleaning, and using technology. Orientation and mobility specialists help with navigation, using sound, touch, and memory to move confidently. There are even special programs for reading and writing, using Braille or audiobooks. All of this helps the newly blind person regain their independence and self-worth. And don't underestimate the power of small victories. The first time someone walks to the store alone, cooks a meal, or reads a book in Braille, it's a huge deal. These moments build confidence, and confidence builds more success. Family support is everything. If you have a loved one who's lost their sight, be patient. Celebrate their progress, no matter how small. Remind them of their strengths and never let them feel like a burden. If you're the one who's lost your sight, know that you're not alone. Reach out, ask for help, and believe in your own ability to adapt and thrive. I also want to say something to the wider community. Blind people are not a burden. We are not helpless. We are people with dreams, talents, and so much to offer. What we need is not pity, but a chance to show what we can do. So, if you see someone struggling, offer a hand, but also offer respect, encouragement, and friendship. Let's not forget that sudden blindness can happen to anyone. It doesn't matter how old you are, where you live, or what you do. But with the right support, the right training, and the right attitude, anyone can overcome it. It's not easy and it takes time, but it is possible. As I wrap up, I want to remind everyone, if you or someone you love is facing sudden blindness, don't lose hope. Reach out to your family, your friends, and your community. Visit a blind school, talk to people who have been through it, and start rehabilitation training as soon as you can. Every journey is different, but no one has to walk it alone. Thank you for spending this time with me today. I hope you found something useful, something hopeful, and maybe even a little inspiring. Remember, blindness is not the end of life. It's a new beginning, and with the right support, it can be a truly meaningful one. Take care, and I'll talk to you next time.
Rakshinda Zahid, IMT News, London.